Hello, thanks for being in a brand new video. This time, let me tell you what I liked most and least about the Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G in case you're considering buying it. So as always, let me tell you, don't buy the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G without watching this video. Pay close attention to the exact model of this device because there is also a Redmi Note 13 Pro without the word Pro, or there is also the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus, so in Xiaomi can be somewhat confusing, so check the model well. Let's consider the launch price in Mexico, which has been 11,999 pesos. On the screen, you see the reference price in dollars, so you have an idea. And beforehand, I tell you that it is a price that I consider exaggerated, even in Mexico, where prices are usually much higher than in other regions. But let me tell you what I like the most. This device has Gorilla Glass Victus, so it has an excellent level of resistance on the screen, which was usually reserved for the high end. The screen has 1.5K resolution. This aspect can definitely get to stand out, although honestly you will not notice much difference between Full HD and 1.5K, but to differentiate it can be a good tool. Desing the esotatins. It also has a 10-band equalizer available without the need to have headphones connected. Many other manufacturers require you to have headphones to customize the audio, but in this case, it does bring this additional option, plus it obviously has stereo sound. For video recording, you have a professional recording mode. That is to say that even while recording the video, you can modify some parameters. This is something that is not so common in mid-range devices. It also has an excellent fast camera mode from 4 to 1800x in 4K, so you could shoot really cool looking stuff, interesting landscapes and these kinds of videos. It also has My Remote, which allows you to use it as a universal remote control. So you just select the brand of your device, follow a little tutorial, and you've got the control in your hands. It has a very good photo editor, which allows you to delete objects, even change the sky and some other tools that look quite interesting. It also offers good security options like application locking, private files, you can clone applications and other things. The 67-watt charger is included in the box and is very powerful, finishing charging in 50 minutes. Actually, 67 watts doesn't sound that powerful, but when we put it to the test, it did charge quite a bit faster than most of its competitors. It also comes with eSIM support. Remember that this feature will allow you to add a data plan by simply scanning a QR code instead of having to buy a physical SIM card. So this is very useful when you are on the go. It also has a tremendous ecosystem with a lot of Xiaomi devices. Although we could say that this is not an exclusive advantage of this device, since the Xiaomi Home application can also be installed on many other devices from other brands, although obviously here it will be a little more integrated. It has 12 gigabytes of RAM, so you can open many applications at the same time without suffering reboots. This is probably one of its strongest points because it is a RAM capacity that we usually only see in the high end. In this case, as I say, it does take advantage of it in a good way. And finally, it also includes a good suite of options when playing games. But now let me tell you what I didn't like. It does not have water resistance. In this price range, we can get pretty demanding, although if in other countries it is much cheaper, I could forgive this feature. But in Mexico, I consider this unforgivable. Portrait photos with the front camera are simple. Again, we can get picky, so it falls well below what we would expect from competitors of this price. In fact, the night mode with the front camera is also just plain bad. On the back, it incorporates a useless macro camera. The burst only takes 20 photos and does not allow raw photo capture. The ultra-wide camera looks exaggeratedly plain with a lot of chromatic aberration. It is an ultra-wide camera that is usually present in much cheaper devices. Although it has 200 megapixels, it does not seem to make good use of this sensor by zooming, although this could be worked on and improved through updates, but when I tested it, it did not work well. HDR in photographs must be activated manually. In fact, by default, it comes turned off, so it can cause your photos to come out very bad. Pay attention to have it turned on. But even with HDR turned on, I didn't like the results. So it really seems like the photo system is not well optimized. The ultra-wide camera has an exaggeratedly low light input at night. In portrait pictures, the objects in the foreground are not detected, giving an exaggeratedly false result. And even in backlighting, you can notice burnt areas. Only the main camera is capable of recording in 4K. In this price range, we would definitely demand that the front camera can also record in this resolution and also the ultra-wide camera. When recording video, it does not allow you to switch between the ultra-wide camera and the main camera. Again, we see a behavior similar to what we would find in much cheaper devices. In fact, if you want to record video with the ultra-wide camera, the result will be exaggeratedly simple. That's why I say that my biggest complaint will be the price. If you want to record action scenes, it won't give you a good result either. In fact, you even notice some very bad blurring. Recording with the front camera, the angle is exaggeratedly narrow and you have to stretch your arm a lot. It has a one-handed mode that only zooms out vertically, so it can be a bit tricky to reach the edges of the screen. It has a lot of annoying bloatware with advertising, and that we could come to understand in the Poco brand devices, which is the sub-brand of Xiaomi, which are usually much tighter prices. But if Xiaomi intends to sell us such an expensive device, it should at least remove this kind of annoying advertising. It does not include the extended unlock of the other Android devices. Instead, it only has a smart unlock that is exclusive through Xiaomi Bluetooth devices. It has a virtual proximity sensor, which in fact in my case didn't even work. The processor it has, Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, is underpowered for the price range. It is slow for editing video in 4K. In gaming, it falls short for the price. So definitely, as I told you, my biggest protest will be the price. If instead of finding it at 11,999 pesos, you find it around 6,000 pesos, it could be a much more interesting alternative. From here, we continue to demand that Xiaomi gives more reasonable prices and is not trying to make fun of us practically. Personally, if you are interested in a Xiaomi, I would recommend you to look for one from the Poco brand, which will offer you practically the same benefits as this device, but at a much lower price. If you already bought this device, let me know how much it cost you. I hope you didn't buy it at a very high price. For now, we've come to the end of this video. If you liked it, you know you can let me know, and we'll see you next time.